Alright, name's Kevin, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a restaurant-style ramen at home. If you want to come over here and take a look at these ingredients, we've got ribeye steak, we've got Shin Black, one of the best in the business. We've got some chopped onions, green onions that is, roasted seaweed, eggs, soy sauce, brown sugar, we got rice, seasoning for cooking, and we got some roasted black seaweed and sesame seed. So with that said, we'll get started. First, we're going to get our noodles into the water. Oops. Alright, when you cook, you make a mess. Next, we will want to get our eggs in the water. Now, what we're doing today is soft-boiled eggs. So with that said, these are going to boil for only about 6.5 minutes. So place them gently, make sure we don't crack them. Nice and gently, we'll set a timer. And we'll do 6 minutes. So now we got our noodles going. I use chopsticks whenever I'm doing noodles. You can use a fork, whatever you're most comfortable with. And then we'll get the heat going on this. And because this is thin steak, we don't want to cook it long, right? Now, with that said, it has been marinated, but it was marinated with these same ingredients, right? So the soy sauce, the brown sugar, and the rice seasoning. It's typically only about, I'd say, a tablespoon or two of the rice seasoning, about a half a cup of soy sauce, and a tablespoon or two of brown sugar. So we'll get this going in here. Again, this won't take long to cook since it is thin sliced. You can use whatever you want to. It can be bacon, be chicken, pork chops, whatever you like the most, right? So, we'll get that going. And we just want a nice little even cook on it. Like I said, these other two, they just wait a little bit. I try to move my eggs around just so that they cook evenly throughout. Because sometimes they'll create air pockets. They're not always filled to the brim with the yolk and the white of the egg. As you can see, our meat's starting to brown up. Again, we're not going to cook this fully through, because if we do, we're going to have a bad time. So, once the eggs are finished, you'll make sure you want to have a bowl with some ice and water in it, because you're going to want to stop the cooking process whenever you pull the eggs out of the heat. So that's what this bowl of ice and water is for, is to stop that cooking process, to keep a nice runny yolk. Alright. So our noodles are getting about ready. As you can see, the meat cooked very well. I made sure to keep a little bit of it pink so it could just finish inside the pan after I turned off the heat. You can hear the timer going off for the eggs. So what I'll do is, I will remove it from heat. Typically what I do is I'll just take my scoop here, scoop my eggs out, hot water out, and we'll immediately place into the ice bath. We'll just want those to sit for a good 2 to 3 minutes. That way they can cool off, but it'll also help with the peeling process and keeping that yolk nice and runny instead of solidified. With that said, like I said, noodles are just getting about ready now. So I'm going to cut those from the heat as well. We'll let those sit. And we will get ready to start peeling the eggs and preparing for the assembly. With that said, usually I will marinate my eggs, and luckily I did this in advance. But this one's the same thing with the marinade. You're gonna want, instead of, just tablespoons of stuff, I would say a good 1.5 cups of soy sauce, maybe a 1/2 cup of mirin, and a good cup of brown sugar, and you'll have a nice marinade for your eggs. And if it doesn't seem like it's enough to cover the egg, then by all means, just add more soy sauce. It won't hurt at all. All right, so we got our eggs nice and peeled now. And as you can see, here's the difference, right? So this is just a regular soft-boiled egg, and this is one that's been marinated. When you cut into it, it should be a nice runny yolk, just as you see there. And we got almost the same. This one's been in the fridge for a little while, so it's coagulated a little bit, but it's still relatively close. Now we're gonna start assembling. So, typically what I do is take my chopsticks, or again, fork, whichever one you want to use, and I will start to distribute evenly. 2 heapings right there. Try to get some even bowls, so I'm feeding multiple people with this today. Noodles on noodles. Alright. Pretty close to using all of it up. Go. Alright. Pretty much all we're going to get from that for now. I'll take a ladle, start getting some of these excess juices so that we have a nice broth whenever we start to really prepare this thing. Again, this is one of the best flavors of ramen you can get. It's a little more on the expensive side, but there's a reason for it. Alright. So now we got a nice broth for both of our bowls. Now we'll add the seasonings. This particular ramen comes with 2 seasoning packets. We got a spice and a beef bone broth. Phenomenal flavors. Here. Again, cooking is messy, so don't mind the mess. And always clean up after we're finished. Slice in that one. Rumba. Both of these a good mix real quick. As you can see, it's going to turn a nice kind of brownish reddish. It is a spicy ramen, so if you don't like spicy, I advise that you pick up another one. There is like a shin gold and a shin mushroom. They're not as spicy as the shin black. But either way, it'll always achieve the same goal. You will get literally as close as possible to a restaurant style ramen. So now, what I usually start with is the soy sauce. Yeah, right. Alright, I'll add a little bit of soy sauce to each bowl. Do a nice little, circle into the middle. For me, that's the perfect amount. And then I will add this roasted seaweed and sesame seed. Some really good stuff right there. You can use it for rice, ramen, pretty much anything Asian. A little bit to each bowl. Same here. Oh, look at that. Looks like we ran out. But that's okay. So, after this, I will start to assemble everything else inside of the ramen. So, we'll grab our eggs here. 1, 2, grab our beef.
Sorry.
Okay. And this is just on how much you want in your own ramen, how much you think you can eat. Doesn't have to be specific. Me, I'm a glutton, so I will eat a lot. Go. Add a little more to mine, because again, I just love eating. I don't look like it, but I do. I love eating. Alright, now I'll take our roasted seaweed here. You can get this at Walmart, HEB, Asian markets, doesn't really matter. You can find them pretty much anywhere these days. It's become a very popular snack. We'll just kind of dress it up to make it look pretty. Like that. We'll do the same over here. Okay. And we'll take our fresh chopped green onion. Just sprinkle that in right there. Uh-oh. There we go. And that right there is about as close as you can get to a restaurant style ramen. Hope you enjoy.